With the hearing for Cleveland Browns Deshaun Watson's 4 out of 24 alleged sexual misconduct cases going to trial, a lot of people are wondering what the future holds for the once promising star quarterback. Will he be let off scot-free, or will justice finally be served? Join us as we explain everything you need to know about the cases filed against the star quarterback and just what the future holds for him. First up, Deshaun Watson's sexual misconduct cases explained. More than 20 civil cases have been filed against Deshaun Watson since 2021, accusing him of inappropriate behavior and sexual misconduct. The first 3 cases were filed by Houston attorney Tony Busby in March of 2021 after he was made aware of 3 separate instances where Watson had been accused by massage therapists of creepy behavior. According to ESPN's Sarah Barshop, Busby stated in one of the cases that Watson's actions were a part of a disturbing pattern of preying on vulnerable women. All of the lawsuits were filed by women who accused Watson of engaging in sexual misconduct, which included everything from inappropriate touching all the way to the athlete forcing himself onto these women. A Harris County grand jury refused to prosecute Watson on criminal charges based on the allegations that were made against him in March 2022. Since no legal action had been taken, this allowed the Texans to trade Watson to the Browns just a few days later. Soon after the trade, Fox News reported that a grand jury in another county in Texas had decided to investigate charges filed by one of the women, which felt like a glimmer of hope for the victims. But unfortunately, this court also refused to prosecute Watson. Later, one of the original 25 lawsuits filed against Watson was dropped by the victim, bringing the number down to 24, although according to reports, the victim still has a right to refile the complaint. Now, for what we know about the cases. Let's briefly go through all of the cases filed against Deshaun Watson and try to see if you notice a pattern here. The first lawsuit is related to an incident that reportedly happened in March 2020 at the house of a massage therapist, and the second case is tied to an incident that transpired in August 2020 at the Houstonian Hotel, Club and Spa. Both of these claims were brought by female massage therapists anonymously. The third lawsuit dates back to an incident that took place in a Houston office building in December 2020, where Watson aggressively forced a massage therapist to give him oral. On March 19, 2021, Watson became implicated in 4 more lawsuits, bringing the total up to 7. 3 of these suits were filed by female massage therapists with whom the quarterback behaved inappropriately. 7 more civil complaints were filed on the 22nd of March of 2021, including one accusing Watson of sexual misconduct with a woman in the same month. Lawsuits 15 and 16 were filed just a day later, once again alleging behavior consistent with what the earlier victims had claimed. On March 28, 3 more cases were filed, claiming that Watson intentionally touched unconsenting women with his genitals. The situation became worse for the athlete when news came out that Watson had been contacting women who had given him massages through Instagram in an attempt to settle for money. 2 more lawsuits were filed on March 30th, bringing the number up to 21. Soon after, on April 2nd, lawsuit number 22 was filed. The 23rd lawsuit was filed 2 weeks later. Case number 24 was filed right after 2 victims appeared on HBO's Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. The filer claimed that seeing Ashley Solis and Kyla Hayes speaking about their experiences with Deshaun Watson struck her by courage. So, what has Deshaun Watson and his team had to say? Once the charges were filed, Deshaun Watson predictably denied all accusations via Twitter and claimed that the accusers were just looking for publicity. He went on to write that he had never treated a woman with anything other than the utmost respect. Deshaun also accused the allegers of badgering him for money and that he was going to clear his name. Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, contested the validity of all charges and labeled one of the sexual assault allegations as a blackmail effort. He also called the accusations against his client meritless. Hardin cited first-person testimonies of more than a dozen massage therapists who claimed to have worked with Watson over the past 5 years without experiencing any of the behavior described by the accusers. Hardin admitted that Watson engaged in sexual activity with 3 of the ladies, but claimed that all of it was consensual and happened after the massages. Earlier this week, it was made public that the quarterback had been able to settle 20 out of the 24 ongoing lawsuits out of court. The victim's attorney, Tony Busby, described the settlement terms as confidential and stated that he expects the remaining to go to trial. Next, what does the NFL plan to do? In March 2021, the league started looking into Watson's actions. Lisa Friel, the league's special counsel for investigations, wrote to Busby and pleaded for the accusers' cooperation. According to a league spokeswoman at the time, the situation was being looked into in light of the NFL's personal conduct policy. This policy sets forth how players and coaches are to conduct themselves off the field. During the course of their investigation, NFL investigators spoke to the women who worked for the massage therapy company that was contracted by the Texans, as well as 10 of the women who had sued Watson. Well, more than a year later, with Watson's hearings beginning on Tuesday the 28th of July 2022, it looks like the NFL has finally come to a decision. You see, Watson was scheduled to appear before former federal judge Sue L. Robinson, an arbitrator chosen by both the league and the players' union, during an NFL disciplinary hearing earlier this week. The hearing was called because Watson Watson's lawyers and the league were unable to agree on a penalty. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, the NFL decided to suspend the star quarterback indefinitely at this hearing. The suspension will last for at least 1 year at the minimum. After this period, Watson may put in a request to be reinstated. Multiple media outlets confirmed the report just a few hours later. According to the Wall Street Journal, the NFL built its case for Watson's suspension on 5 women's accusations that the league deemed had the strongest evidence. A detective who led the Houston Police's investigation into Watson stated that the strongest evidence came from the cases of Ashley Solis, Watson's initial accuser, and another woman who chose to stay anonymous. Representatives from the NFL also met with these 2 women to get their statements. Both of these women are among the 4 plaintiffs that have refused to settle out of court, too. Now, for how the people have reacted. Watson's actions were largely met by disgust by the NFL community, with most of the fans calling for the quarterback to be suspended from the league forever. But there are always going to be a few outliers. A small chunk of Watson supporters claim that the fact that the women settled proves the quarterback's statement about the women just looking for money and publicity, while others have argued that an innocent person wouldn't have agreed to settle 20 cases. And next, how did Watson's sponsors react? We have also seen the athlete lose some of his biggest sponsors in light of the accusations made against him. The day after 2 of the accusers made their cases public, Nike suspended Watson's contract. Soon after Nike's call, other companies like Beats and Reliant followed suit and decided to drop Watson amid the allegations, while companies like Rolex simply let their deals with the quarterback expire without renewal. So, did the Houston Texans enable Watson's behavior? The quarterback's former employers, the Houston Texans, have also been sued for allegedly enabling Watson's behavior. The petition was filed in a Harris County court on Monday, July 27th. The team has been accused of not only knowing but turning a blind eye to Watson's alleged misconduct during massage therapy sessions. The lawsuit also claims that the Texans enabled Watson by providing him with the tools and resources he needed to carry out his therapy sessions, including rooms set up for him at the Houstonian hotel, massage tables provided to him for private massage sessions, and an NDA provided to him from the head of Texans security. If any of these accusations are proven to be true, it can be incredibly damaging for the Texans' image. Finally, what do the NFL's past allegations tell us? The NFL has disciplined a number of players who broke the league's personal conduct policy, but were not charged criminally. Ben Roethlisberger was suspended for 6 games in 2010 after 2 women accused him of sexual assault. Later, the suspension was lowered to 4 games by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Running back Ezekiel Elliott of the Dallas Cowboys was also suspended for 6 games back in 2017 due to domestic violence offenses. So, even though Watson and his legal team have been able to settle 20 out of the 24 cases, it seems like the NFL will stand by its decision to suspend the quarterback and will not give Watson a clean slate no matter what the court's decision, which could spell disaster for Watson's career as a professional athlete. That's a wrap for this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.